In a dramatic development, Iran has launched a barrage of missile attacks hitting Israeli targets across the settler colony. The latest round of attacks came in three phases. What was different about these attacks was that for the first time, Iranian missiles hit Israeli targets just when Israelis were getting ready to start their day. According to Iranian news agency IRNA, among those targets were Israel's central military intelligence bases near Soroka Hospital in Beersheba in southern Israel. This came after Israel deployed dozens of fighter jets to attack Iran, its nuclear facility in Iraq, and other civilian targets, causing widespread death and destruction. Among those killed were also pregnant women. Israel also launched a cyber attack by briefly paralyzing the Iranian banking system. Meanwhile, Iran has issued a fresh warning to the US against its involvement in the ongoing war with Israel. Iran has also slammed the Argentinian head of the IAEA, Rafael Grossi, for deliberately misleading the world with his twisted report to provide a legitimacy to its attacks on Tehran. Now let's look at all these developments in greater detail. A statement by the Iranian armed forces said that they have successfully carried out the 12th wave of powerful combined attacks on strategic Israeli targets in the occupied territories.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. موج 12 عملیات وعده صادق 3 با شلیک موشک‌های فوق سنگین، دوربرد و دو مرحله‌ای سجیل آغاز شد. ساکنین سرزمین‌های اشغالی قدس، نیروهای مسلح جمهوری اسلامی ایران به پشتوانه ملت قهرمان ایران سامانه پدافندی ارتش صهیونی را در طول چندین عملیات پیشین در هم شکستند و اکنون آسمان اراضی اشغالی آغوش خود را برای موشک‌ها و پهپادهای ایران باز کرده است. حملات موشکی تأثیر محور و ممتد خواهد بود، چنان که روز گذشته مقرهای موساد و آمان در سرزمین‌های اشغالی هدف قرار گرفت. فرمانده سپاه پاسداران انقلاب اسلامی هشدار داده بود که درب‌های جهنم به روی شما باز خواهد شد. موشک‌های رعدآسای هوافضای سپاه نخواهد گذاشت لحظه ای را بیرون از پناهگاه‌های زیرزمینی سر کنید. چند روزی است که رنگ آفتاب را به خود ندیده اید. اطمینان داشته باشید لحظه ای صدای آژیرهای قرمز قطع نخواهد شد. یا باید مرگ تدریجی را در زندگی جهنمی در پناهگاه ها انتخاب کنید، یا جان خود را از موشک باران 24 ساعته نجات دهید و هرچه زودتر از سرزمین های غصب شده توسط اجدادتان فرار کنید تا شاید زنده بمانید. انا من المجرمین منتقمون.
Israel imposes ruthless censorship on objective reporting from its occupied territories. However, despite that censorship, a lot of videos have emerged showing the damages that Iranian missiles have caused across Israel. You can watch those videos on our Telegram channel. Details are on the screen. Even the BBC is now reporting about the significant damage caused by Iranian missiles. BBC's Hugo Bachega, who is based in Jerusalem, wrote this on BBC News Online. After days of very limited impact with its attacks, Iran has managed to inflict significant damage in Israel as missiles penetrated the country's air defense system, hitting several locations. IRNA news agency also said that the attack in Tel Aviv was aimed at Israeli Defense Forces, Command and Intelligence IDF C4I headquarters, and an army intelligence camp in the Gab Yam Technology Park. Meanwhile, social media users have been sharing the damage building of Israeli stock exchange in Tel Aviv, which is believed to have sustained significant damages. War criminal Benjamin Netanyahu, who is responsible for bombing and destroying every single hospital in Gaza, besides massacring hundreds of thousands of people. He threatened that Iran will pay a heavy price. He wrote on Twitter, and I quote, "This morning, Iran's terrorist tyrants launched missiles at Soroka Hospital in Beersheba and at a civilian population in the center of the country. We will exact the full price from the tyrants in Tehran." End quote. Iran has blamed the IAEA head, Rafael Grossi, for causing the confusion in the minds of the West with his convoluted report, thereby providing the so-called context for an attack on Tehran. Grossi, who previously worked in the pro-Israeli Foreign Ministry of Argentina and was his country's representative in the NATO, has since then retracted his original comments. He now says that Iran was not working towards acquiring nuclear weapons.
What we informed and what we reported was that we did not have, as in coincidence with some of the sources you mentioned there, that we did not have any proof of a systematic effort to move into a nuclear weapon.
I think it was an important consideration. I understand what you're saying, but the fact that they continue to cite this report, based on your assessments, I mean, given what the U.S. intelligence community has been saying, and it's contradicting what the Israeli intelligence is saying, the Americans have continued to say, and Tulsi Gabbard said 2 months ago to the Senate Estimates Committee, the intelligence community has continued to say that we don't believe that Iran at this point in time is trying to weaponize. Is that your assessment as well?
Well, that was not in the same way. We have different mandate, different approach than the national intelligence of a country. For us, on the basis of our inspections, on the basis of our own evaluations, we came to the conclusion that we could not affirm that there is any systematic effort in Iran at the moment to manufacture a nuclear weapon.
But the Iranian Foreign Ministry has termed his retraction very late. Meanwhile, Iran's Deputy Foreign Minister, Kazem Gharibabadi, has issued another warning to the US against direct military intervention. In comments carried by Reuters news agency, Gharibabadi said that Iran does not want the conflict to expand, but is ready to act and teach aggressors a lesson if necessary. His statement also shows that Trump wasn't telling us the truth when he claimed that Iranians were desperately seeking an invitation to the White House to hold talks on the nuclear program. This is what Trump had said yesterday.
It was such a shame. They were so close. You know, Iran was very close to signing what would have been a very good agreement for them. And maybe that could still happen, I guess. You know, they do want to come and see us. They want to see me in the White House. That's a big statement. But it's very late.
Is it enough of a statement to hold off getting?
We're going to see what happens. Look, we're going to see what happens. Ending it as soon as you can would be good.
But in a strongly worded response, the Iranian mission to the UN has said this, and I quote, "No Iranian official has ever asked to grovel at the gates of the White House. The only thing more despicable than his lies is his cowardly threat to take out Iran's supreme leader. Iran does not negotiate under duress, shall not accept peace under duress, and certainly not with a has-been warmonger clinging to relevance. Iran shall respond to any threat with a counter threat and to any action with reciprocal measures." End quote. Now, all eyes are on Donald Trump. It remains to be seen if he would come to Netanyahu's rescue, even if it means dragging his country to a dangerous and illegal war caused by someone who has an arrest warrant from the International Criminal Court for crimes against humanity. Thank you very much for your support of this platform and our journalism on buymeacoffee.com and Patreon. If you do think that our journalism is worth supporting, then you too should consider becoming part of it. Details are there in the description of this video. In the meantime, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so because that's one of the many ways you can support independent journalism. God bless you all.